Yo, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be making my Smash 6 wishlist, aka what I want to see in the next Smash game. So, without further ado, let's hop right in. So, for this video, I'm going to be going into three main categories. I'm going to be going into the characters I want to see return, I'm going to go into the stages, again, that I want to see return, and I'm going to go into what the game should offer for casuals, like FS meter, items, story mode, extra modes, and whatnot. So yeah, let's go into characters. Okay, personally for me, I want to see every character return to the next Smash game. I don't know how likely that's going to be considering licensing, but personally, I just want to see every character get back in the game. I also want to add about 5 to 10 more characters just so it feels newer and not just like another version of Smash Ultimate. I'm also not opposed to Nintendo removing characters like Steve or Min Min because I want every character to return, right? But I also don't want to have another situation like Steve or Min Min in Ultimate where it's just like super annoying, super hard to fight against. So as long as they nerf them, I'm fine with them being in the game. But if they're just going to be the way they are right now, I'm not really opposed to them. I'd rather have them in the game than not have them in the game. But yeah, I'm not opposed to them not being in the game if that's the case. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics of who I want to see added and not added in Smash 6, but I will say I do want to see Waluigi in the next Smash game. And I also don't want them to add only a few characters just so it doesn't feel like Smash Ultimate 2.0, if that makes sense. But whether or not they do add only a few characters or not, I do want them to add about the same as much DLC as they did for Ultimate. So, yeah, that's all I have for characters. Let's move on to stages. So, considering I'm not what you would call a true casual, I don't really care as much about the non tournament legal stages as I do the tournament legal stages. For the stages as a whole though, I feel like the amount we had in Ultimate was pretty optimal. So I would keep it at that amount of stages, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, who knows? But yeah. Also, I want them to add back the good tournament legal stages like Battlefield, Small Battlefield, PS2, Town and City, and whatnot. They could also add more tournament legal stages depending on how many like regular stages there are in the game. And I'm also gonna add like what I want to see online in this section because the stages play a pretty huge part in that. So for online, I'd want to see what they did similar to in Smash 4, aka a for fun and a for glory section. Mainly because I've played online so many times against people who essentially win trade and just play on a casual rule set. And obviously, nobody's used to that except for that person. And they win every single time. I mean, most times, I should say. And I'd make the for fun rule set like what it was in Smash 4, aka random stages, items. I mean, obviously it didn't have FS meter back then, but I'd add FS meter in Smash Ball. And for the For Glory section, I'd kind of add what it was now. Maybe I'd like rotate in like three stages like FD, Small Battlefield, and Battlefield. And I'd add a ranking system there, unlike it did in Smash 4. And that's really all I have for stages and online play. So let's move right along to casual modes. So obviously, I'd want them to add back the modes we all know and love, aka home run contest, classic mode, stage builder, the thing where you fight the Mii's constantly. It has like Cruel Smash in it. I think it's called Mob Smash as a whole. And I'd also want to add a target smash, break the targets, or whatever it's called for nostalgia's sake. I don't know how they're going to do it though, considering the amount of characters in Melee and Brawl were significantly less than what's probably going to be in Smash 6. But yeah, speaking of Brawl, I do want them to add a similar story mode to the one they had in Brawl, aka Subspace Emissary, and focusing a little bit less on the Ward of Light style. I mean, personally, for me, in my opinion, Ward of Light was pretty fun, right? But it wasn't Subspace Emissary, so I'd want them to make it like Subspace Emissary and less like Ward of Light. Now, since we're talking about World of Light and the different story modes, we should probably talk about the spirits and spirit modes that may return, may not return in the game. So for me, I'm a little indifferent about them adding the spirits back into the game. Like for me, they're a cool concept, but you really only use them for two modes, like the spirit board mode and the story mode. Like sure, you can like go on the couch with your friends and like use like the spirit presets to basically fight your friends with spirits on. But other than that, there's like no true use for them. Like it's obviously not tournament legal. So I don't know why anybody in that setting would ever want to use the spirits. But if they like make it so the spirits have more use in the next Smash game, I'd say they're okay to add back. But if they're just going to be used in like two modes again, then I don't really care as much. And that's really all I have for the casual modes in the game. Obviously, since I'm not a true casual, I don't really care if one of my wishes doesn't come true here. But other than that, that's all I got. So for the TLDR here, I want them to make every character return to the next Smash game. Obviously, that's not going to be likely considering licensing and annoyance of characters. But I also want them to add about 5 to 10 more characters non DLC, and then after that, you obviously add the DLC. Then for the stages, I want them to add about the same amount of stages as we have right now in Ultimate. Obviously, the certain types of stages in general will depend on what characters are in the game. And I do want them to add back like some of the good tournament legal stages, like PS2 Battlefield, Small Battlefield. And for the casual modes, I'd want them to like return like the good casual modes like home run contest, stage builder, classic mode, and whatnot. I also want them to make a story mode that's similar to Subspace Emissary and less like World of Light. And also, I'm indifferent about them adding spirits back into the game because it really depends on whether or not the story mode's gonna include the spirits or not. And obviously, since Smash is such a huge game, I probably missed a couple things here and there that I should have included in the video. So if y'all are wondering about like the small little things that I didn't talk about, let's just say I kind of forgot they were there because it's such a huge game. So other than that, that's all I have for the video. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for more.